So I just wanted to do a little video about worship and unity. On the 4th of July, it was announced by the government that places of worship were able to gather together again, obviously with restrictions in place, adhering to social distancing, wearing masks, and not singing, and not having tea and coffee, and all of those various things. Now, at the time, we did a survey as a United Benefice here, and the overwhelming majority was that it wasn't quite right for us to gather back together at this time, but we wanted to offer something for those who wish to, and so we have held a couple of United prayer gatherings. We introduced a midweek service, which has now moved to a Sunday morning, whilst also continuing with the online worship for those who appreciated that as well and were benefiting from the online engagement. And that was a really important decision for us to make, and we made that decision very carefully and very prayerfully. Now, when it was announced on the 4th of July that churches could get back together if they wanted to, there was an opportunity there for incredible unity, and we wanted to work together as a United Benefice. There was also, however, the opportunity for the enemy to bring about great disunity. And we are constantly praying and seeking that doesn't happen for us here in the United Benefice of St Mary's and St Mark's. Now, I've said before that title that we have, the United Benefice of St Mary's and St Mark's, is a really important one. A long one, granted, but it's really important. If you ask the general public what the word benefice means, most of them wouldn't have a clue, and I'm sure many of you don't even know without searching up what the word benefice actually means. But if you ask the general public what the word united means, they will know. And it's important that we are seeking to be the United Benefice of St Mary's and St Mark's more and more as weeks and months go on, and particularly in this season where the enemy has an opportunity to bring about the opposite should we allow him to do so. But we don't want to allow him to do so. So I just want to speak briefly about what the United Benefice looks like in this season as we're exploring and stepping into what we think God has for us. Now, we are going to be entering another season of review in the next couple of weeks, and there'll be details of that following soon. But in the meantime, I just want to talk about the worship that we have on offer as a United Benefice. I make it really clear that the service that we offer at the moment is for anybody who wants to come. Now, when we made the decision to have a small spoken prayer book service, we had it midweek in St Mark's, which has now moved to a Sunday at 9 o'clock. And that service is for anybody who wants to come. Now, we know that for some people it will be difficult to come. Maybe the time doesn't work for you. Maybe wearing a mask for 40 minutes just seems like a stretch too far, which I totally understand, having done it on Sunday. And then also for others, maybe the online worship is just much more what you prefer at the moment. You feel safer doing that. It feels more right to do that. It's easier for you as a family. Lots of reasons, and we fully understand all of those reasons and accept those reasons. But we also want to make it really clear that that service is for everybody. That the 9 o'clock service in St Mark's isn't just for the St Mark's worshippers, regular worshippers, and the 10:30 online service isn't just for the St Mary's regular worshippers, but actually that as a United Benefice, we are offering a 9 o'clock spoken prayer book service, which happens to be in St Mark's. And the reason we chose St Mark's is because it's far easier to stay on top of in terms of social distancing and also in terms of cleanliness after the service. And the use of prayer books, because there's plenty there that we can use. And so that was why we chose that building for that time. But that service is open to anyone who wants to come. And the only thing we ask is that you let us know if you intend to come so that we can make sure we have space for all who want to come. And then equally, the online 10:30 service is for anybody who wants to benefit from that as well. Anyone who's blessed by that particular ministry. And as we're in this season of review and we're thinking about those things, we just wanted to make it so clear that as a United Benefice, we have those things on offer for anyone who wants to come. And so just let us know if you want to be at the 9 o'clock service at St Mark's. You would be extremely welcome. Now, we will be entering this period of review, and I heard a sermon the other day that I thought had a really good question for us to ask ourselves in this season. As we, as the church, negotiate what this looks like, as we think about the future, as we think about gathering back together in some way perhaps, or whatever it may look like. That the question we're asking shouldn't be, what's church going to be like when I go back? What's church going to look like when I go back? But actually, the question we should be asking is, what kind of me is going back to church? When church gathers back together, what kind of me is going back to church? What that means, and what has God been revealing to me in this time about what's important, about what matters, about what doesn't matter, about what is essential and what's not essential about church, about my view of church or my view of religion or my view of Jesus. What has he been teaching me in this time? What is he still teaching me? What does he still want to teach me about those things? And so I think that's a really good question to ask ourselves as we begin to enter this period of review again in the next couple of weeks. What kind of me will be going back to church? What is God wanting to say to me about church and about worship, and certainly about unity in these next few weeks? So yeah, just really wanted to make it as clear as possible, really, that the services that we offer are for anybody in the benefice who wishes to attend. So 9 o'clock at St. Mark's for a spoken prayer book service. We may be introducing communion to that in the next few weeks, but more information will follow about that. And from September, both the 9 o'clock service at St. Mark's and the 10:30 service online will be following the same sermon theme, and so we will hopefully be creating more unity that way as well. And so wherever you choose to worship with us, however you choose to join us in worship, may you know the grace and the peace of God in this season ahead.